All right, welcome back. I've got these Bolsters holes drilled. What we're going to do is we've got them marked left and right, okay? We've got them chamfered. The fronts that are going to contact the blade, those are beveled over and semi-polished, which is what we want. We got the tops. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and apply them. But before I can do that, what I've got to do is I've got to determine left and right, okay? Lay that one down there, lay that one on top. What I've got to determine is the thickness of this so I can determine the length of my pins, okay? Remember, that gets filled up with brass. So what I want to do is I want to hold the pin up, and I want the pin to come through the other side at least 3/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Gives me plenty of peen where I can peen it over. So that's about right there. So we'll lay that down, and we'll mark these two pins. I decided to go with nickel silver. I want them to disappear. The only thing you see is the brass and the nickel silver bolster. So we'll mark that, okay? We only need 2 right now. However, we're gonna need another one later, so we'll go ahead and cut 3. And that's what we're gonna do. So let me get them cut, just using a hacksaw. I'll bring you back. All right, you can see I've got 4 nickel silver 1/8 inch pins right there. What I'm gonna do is clean up the ends and chamfer them, okay? What that chamfer is gonna do is help me to go through the bolsters a lot easier. So let me do that, and then we'll come back. We'll put 2 bolsters on this knife and let this epoxy set up, and we'll be ready to move on. All right, got them cleaned up. Wipe my hands off here, they're wet. You would be surprised how fast those little pins get hot when you're grinding. All I do is take them, spin them on a grinding pad, belt sander. Yeah, y'all can see me out there. Let me see what happens if I do this. Okay. No, this video is not about me. It's about what I'm doing. So, let me sit down here. See what I got, what I might need to go get. Here's my epoxy. Here's the bolsters and the knife. Okay. Here's my 4 pins. All I need now is a ball peen hammer, and we'll be in business. Let me go grab one. My little helper, he kind of, he lost a little light there. My little helper likes to run off with stuff, if you know what I mean. There we go. You know what I need? I need a fresh chew before I start this. Y'all might not like my dirty habit, they call it, but I find it rather relaxing. And Stoker's makes a good chewing tobacco. This happens to be Fred's choice, and I like it. I quit smoking about 25 years ago, but I find it relaxing. So I chew it. All right, got my ball peen hammer here. I'm sitting a little bit low. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a couple paper towels or napkins or shop towels here out. Clean this off. Get a few things out of the way here. Okay, and we're gonna lay these out here. And we're gonna lay our knife on them, just like so. And as you can see, these pins have been, get off our chamfered. Okay, ready to go in. Make sure they're dry. All 2 of them right now. Okay, and the other 2 I'll clean off and set to the side, because I will probably end up using them at a later date. Now what we've got is we've got the right hand bolster and the left hand bolster. And what we're going to do is lay that knife just like that. Take the left hand bolster top, and we're going to mix up a little bit of epoxy right here on this bench. And we're going to not mix up a lot, just enough to get on that pin, get it started in this bolster. Then we're going to lay that knife right here, and we're going to drive it on up in the knife. Okay. So we got us a spot cleaned off here. I need to get me a little stir stick. Anything will work. I'm gonna clean it off when I'm done with it anyway. Let's just use that old drill bit right there. It ain't no count, no way. That'll work. Sure we don't have no dirt right here. I've mixed it up right here before. This ain't gonna hurt it. Bump this out a little bit. Not a lot. It don't take much. We'll stir it up. We do this right-handed so y'all can see it. I'm gonna mix up a little epoxy. Can I do it without epoxy? Yeah, I could actually silver solder them and not use no pins. A lot of knife makers do it. I've had some of the best knife makers in the world tell me, John, you don't need to silver solder your bolsters on. He said all you got to do is pin them with a whatever material you're using, and they'll never come off as long as you're using it under normal circumstances. So with that said, I give it a shot, and so far I haven't had anybody complain about a pin coming out or not doing what it was supposed to do. So we're gonna put a little down in the hole, and we're gonna set a pin down in there. Okay. Now we'll give it a little tap. Hope all goes well. Okay. Now we'll do the second one. Get us a little bit of epoxy on it. We'll put a little bit in the hole. And we'll set her up there. Went in just fine. Okay. Now with that said, we know that's the top, so we'll take the rest of our epoxy and we'll put it under the bolster. Okay. Just like so. We're gonna have run out. We'll have to have some cleanup, so it's no problem. Lay that down. Hold the bolster in your hand. Don't take much, just give it a little tap. What we want to do is just get it through there where it'll start, okay? On the edge of the table, just like that. We'll take our knife, fresh towel, lay our knife down. We'll guide the bolster onto the knife, just like so, and we'll give it a tap. Now, as you can see, that bolster has started, and there they are sticking to the other side. That top pin is loose right there, so that's all right. It won't hurt a thing. Won't hurt nothing. We'll flip the knife over. And now that we got the pins already sticking through, the second bolster will go right on there. So we'll take a little bit more epoxy. We'll put on that pin. And we know where the bolsters are going, so we'll put it on the knife. Okay. Made up just enough epoxy. Hold that in my hand and see what I'm doing. There we go. I know where all this is headed. I can see good. I know y'all can too. Okay. We'll take that other bolster. We know that's the top, right? So we're going to put a little bit of epoxy in the holes. Okay. Smear a little bit on it. What's left here, just like so. And now we're going to set it on there. We know that's the top front, just like so. Okay, and we'll give her a tap. We'll flip it over. And those pins went right through there. There it is, both bolsters. Just like the doctor ordered. We'll come back later and we'll put our brass in here once these set up. Now, is there a gap there? Yeah, but I've got something for that. Lay these handles right here, this blade here. A couple other things out of the way. Lay our towels out of the way. And we'll bring up this 1-inch steel plate, flip it over, lay a towel on it, okay? And we'll lay them bolsters on the edge of that, and we'll tap them things. What that's gonna do is it's gonna cause them things to work up our flush where we want them. Oh, don't drop it, John. I don't like that right there, so we'll drive them pins on through there a little bit so I can peen on them. Like that right there. Now we'll drive that on up. Like that right there. Make sure both sides are flush. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to tap on these pins just ever so slightly. I don't have to haul off and kill them, okay? That's it. All I'm doing is swelling that pin, causing it to swell a little bit. That's all I'm doing. I want to drive out and through a little bit before I set it up there and drive it on, okay? Like so. Now let's grab it like this. I just want to catch the edge of the pin like that. Okay, just like so. Now I'll put some clamps on it and clean it all up. sure it's flush. Will be when I get done with it. Alright, now we'll take and make sure we ain't got no excess epoxy around where the wooden handles are going to go. All around it, clean all that off. We don't want no extra epoxy nowhere around the blade, the bolster, none of that stuff. Especially down in there where that's got a other piece of metal's got to go, because we don't want to have to file all that epoxy out of there. We'll take a straight edge and we'll clean all that out. Make sure there's no epoxy anywhere in that groove. And I believe we're okay. Okay. Cleaned up. Little there, but we'll get rid of that. It just makes it easier when it's all dry and you have to come back, clean it all up. We don't want to do all that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it in this vise. Make sure y'all can see it. Where's the vise? Right there it is. And I'm going to clamp it down on it in this vise. Put pressure on it, okay? What that's going to allow me to do is squeeze that epoxy. Make sure everything's tight. I'll go all the way around it. Make sure I got it all the way out. Oh yeah. See that epoxy coming out of there? We want to clean all that off. Just like so. We don't want that epoxy on there, because that's just something that's going to get in the way later, and I'll have to sand all of it out. We'll finish wiping that out. Both sides. There we go. That's where the wood's going to mate to, and we don't want no epoxy right there. We'll unhinge it. We'll look all the way around it. We've got a little more right there. Don't want none of that epoxy in there. Well, let me get it cleaned up and clamped, and I'll bring y'all back, and we'll work on this brass insert.